What's going on, my friends? Cubs fan Han back again for a Galaxy of Heroes guide. We're going to talk about Zetas today, and no, this is not a music video. Thank you so much to everyone who responded to the Swug of Paradise video. I got such a positive response to it. That was so fun to make for you guys, and I'm glad that you, for the most part, enjoyed it. I even had Capital Games send me a video of their studio reacting to it. That was really cool to see, so thank you so much. Who knows? Maybe we'll do another music video in the future. Let me know if you want to see that, and we'll look into it. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about Zetas, and specifically, I'm going to break down every single Zeta I have given to every character and why I did it. And so I want to kind of help you guys understand the thought process that goes into giving a Zeta, especially for some of you who are getting ready to start giving Zetas. Maybe you're a newer player, you are getting close to level 80, and you're wondering, who should my first Zeta be? There's a lot of things you need to consider, and so I'll talk through kind of my thought process on each of these. I'll go faster over some because I have 17 Zetas that I've given to characters over these 2 years that I've been playing this game. So some of them I'll go over a bit quicker, some of them I might spend a little bit more time on, but I just want to help kind of go through the thought process that goes into each Zeta ability, and I will go in order that I gave them. So starting with number 1, going all the way through the most recent Zeta I gave to a character. So starting with number 1. The first Zeta I ever gave to a character was to Qui-Gon Jinn's agility training, and at the time, this was a really good move. This was probably the best free-to-play leader we had in the game at that point, and that foresight gain really took the Jedi into viability, especially once you're able to unlock General Kenobi. When I did add General Kenobi to this team, it was able to take me to number 1 in the arena. So the biggest reason I gave this Zeta to Qui-Gon Jinn is because I knew it would significantly boost my arena viability, and that is something I think that I prioritize most, and you probably should too when looking at a Zeta. Is it going to help your arena team stay top of the arena? Because if you are able to do that, you get 500, between 250 to 500 crystals a day for staying in the top 10 of your arena shard. So that is something that I prioritize heavily when I look at Zetas. My second Zeta went to Yoda's battle meditation. This is a Zeta that I might regret a little bit because I haven't used it in so long, and even at the time I remember thinking, I don't know if this really gains me that much. I don't believe that this Zeta boosted my arena viability. I think maybe it helped me with a few battles, but by and large, I always felt like Yoda was just too squishy, didn't do enough damage. He was able to remove some turn meter, and he's able to stun if you've got some health off off the enemy. But by and large, I didn't think it was that beneficial. So that might be a Zeta I regret, but still it went to my arena team, and so I wanted to make my arena team as solid as possible. The next Zeta I gave was to R2-D2's Number Crunch. Again, this was definitely an arena-driven Zeta that I gave. When R2-D2 hit, he really benefited the Jedi because they got that Galactic Republic tag. Before R2-D2, that tag didn't exist, and the Jedi weren't going to be able to, synergize with R2-D2, but once they added that, most of the Jedi have the Galactic Republic tag, and so it was able to really benefit the whole team having R2-D2 there, and we really kind of had a turn in the meta. The Jedi weren't, I wouldn't say they were meta, but they were probably pretty close, especially if you had them modded for enough speed and enough offense, running Qui-Gon Jinn, R2, General Kenobi, Anakin, and Yoda, or some would sub in Ezra into that bunch, and so it really benefited the arena team, and I would say probably one of the most solid arena teams I've ever had was that team, and so that was why I gave that Zeta to R2-D2. The next Zeta I gave was to R2-D2's combat analysis. Same story, definitely benefited my arena team. Having that cleanse on every critical hit that a lightsaber character did was really beneficial, and it benefited the Jedi who are going to be critting a lot, and so it was really nice to have combat analysis. I kind of pair it with Number Crunch. I mean, I want to have both in there. If you have R2-D2, it's really good to have both of them, and still going to be Zetas that are viable today. Alright, my fifth Zeta ability went to Darth Nihilus's Lord of Hunger. Now, this used to be called Wound in the Force, and it actually still shows on .gg as Wound in the Force, but look, Lord of Hunger. It's now Lord of Hunger in game. Now, at the time, I kind of regretted this Zeta, to be honest with you. I remember giving it to him and immediately thinking, oh crap, what did I do? And the reason for the kind of the motive is that at the time Chase was running Supreme. I was having a really hard time getting past the Chirp and Baze teams because it was so hard to kill Baze. He was just so tanky and he kept regenning and regen. It was crazy. And having that health down and debuff on Baze helped me to get through him. If I could get that landed and then do a mass assist with General Kenobi, seemed to work pretty well. And I was running Nihilus with Jedi, believe it or not, and it actually worked pretty well for me. The problem with that Zeta, though, is having the health down, as nice as it is, 9 out of 10 times it got cleansed by Chirrut. And so it wasn't something that I was able to take advantage of enough. Now, in today's world, having the Lord of Hunger Zeta is very solid, especially if you're going to be running the Palpatine teams. It's going to give you a lot more dots. It's going to give you more health down and all of that, and you're going to have a really, really solid use for it in the current state of things. So now I don't regret it. At the time I kind of did, but it ended up coming back and being useful. All right, my 6th Zeta was given to Hans Shoots First. Fantastic Zeta, no regrets, still usable. It's been usable for pretty much, since they reworked him, it's been usable. Now, a big reason why I gave this Zeta to Han, I mean, once Commander Luke Skywalker came out, and I was able to pair those two together, it was like a match made in heaven. It worked really well, very, very raw damage, solid. But I also love to have it for raids. Having that Zeta, having that double tap, and also the turn meter reduction paired with it, basically took me from being able to place, you know, decent in the Rancor raid to being able to solo the whole thing on auto. Zeta number 7 was given to Commander Luke Skywalker's It Binds All Things. And this is an awesome Zeta. It's still awesome today, and in fact, we're kind of seeing a resurgence. We kind of saw Commander Luke Skywalker teams fall out of the meta a bit in the arena, and now some of them are coming back because they can actually legitimately counter these Palpatine teams. All right, my 8th Zeta went to Commander Luke Skywalker's Rebel Maneuvers. This is Commander Luke's leader ability, and I think this is a good Zeta. At the time I gave it because the turn meter gain just seemed really good. You get 5%. Basically, the Zeta gains you 5% turn meter for each Rebel ally. I'm not sure if this Zeta is essential for Commander Luke, to be honest, because what makes this leader ability, in my opinion, so solid is the counter chance. And that's what kind of makes it a good counter to all of these Palp teams, because you have so much AoE, and if you're not able to land enough stuns with Palpatine, or when Nihilus does his drain, then you're going to have a mass counter 9 out of 10 times. And so that, to me, is where this Zeta lacks, is that you don't really need the Zeta for the most solid part of this ability. All right, Zeta number 9 went to Finn, and yeah, it took me that long to Zeta my Finn. I don't know why it took me so long, but kind of as the Resistance hype train came along with Rey Jedi training coming up, I mean, we had the next movie coming up, I was really, really excited to get my Resistance ready, and so I farmed up all my Resistance. I had a Zeta to give. I gave it to Finn right before Rey Jedi training was announced.
What have I done?
And so I kind of regretted it, but that said, it's just not an arena Zeta. So if you want to give this Zeta to Finn to be good in the arena, you might want to rethink your priorities, because that's just not where this Zeta is going to shine. But the reason why I really gave it was not to do well in the arena, but to have a really solid territory battles and territory wars Zeta. This is a go-to character for me for both game modes still. And so I don't regret giving the Zeta to Finn, because I've got a pretty good Resistance team that I can use on offense for territory wars, and that I can use on auto for every phase of territory battles. The 10th Zeta I gave out was to Rey Jedi Training's Inspirational Presence, and I totally did this for arena. I was able to unlock Rey Jedi Training the first time around, and I was really excited to use her. I had that in mind. This Zeta is going to benefit you as well in raids, and so I also kind of had raids in mind a little bit, but it was mostly going to be arena motivated. But now that we have the Sith raid, Rey is pretty much the go-to character for the raid, and so I'm really glad I have it for both the raid and for the arena. My 11th Zeta was given to Rey's Insight, and I love this Zeta. The reason I gave it to her is because, in my opinion, this is what makes Rey super annoying to fight from a defensive standpoint. So it's really good to have for territory wars if you're going to put her on defense for territory wars, and it's also going to be fantastic to have in the arena if you're running her there. I primarily use it for territory wars at this point. So the way it works is basically you get foresight at the end of every single turn until you evade, and you also start with it at the beginning of encounter. The Zeta is very, very solid for those reasons, and I don't regret it one bit. I'm super glad I have it. If you're gonna have Rey, in my opinion, this might be the must-have Zeta. A lot of people are really high on inspirational presence, and I really like that as well. But this is a Zeta to me that really packed a punch, and I think makes her really annoying to fight, and so that's why I like to have it. Zeta number 12 went to BB-8's Roll with the Punches. I love this Zeta. No regrets whatsoever. This is what's going to take that BB-8 or Rey Jedi training combo to the next level, because whenever BB-8 attacks out of turn, he's going to call another resistance ally to assist. And so if you're running a team with Rey Jedi training, BB-8, and R2-D2, for example, and say the other two are not resistance characters, then you're going to have a guaranteed chance. When Rey does her first special, she's going to select BB-8. BB-8's going to attack, she's going to attack, and then because BB-8 attacks out of turn, he's going to call either Rey Jedi Training to attack again, or maybe R2-D2, which gives you a stun chance. It's a win-win. Number 13, number 13, interesting, was Palpatine, Emperor of the Galactic Empire. This is his leader ability. I absolutely love his leader ability, and it's going to be a must-have if you want to run Palpatine in the leadership spot nowadays in the arena, which is, in my opinion, the meta right now, and so there's still going to be a lot of use for that. It's going to be really good in territory wars and territory battles as well for dark side territory battles, but probably where it shines the most is arena. Zeta number 14 was Crackling Doom, which is also Palpatine. Very, very good Zeta, and the reason why I gave this Zeta to Palpatine was because, in my opinion, the biggest weakness of the character is that he's very squishy. If you target Palpatine, you're usually able to take him out pretty quickly, even with this Zeta ability, but it at least addresses the problem a bit by giving Palpatine plus 50% max protection, and when he inflicts shock, he gains 5% max protection until the end of the encounter. And so definitely a good idea to try to spread that shock out so you can make your Palpatine as tanky as possible. If that, I mean, that word and him just really still don't go together. But you want to have as much protection on him as possible from this so that you can make him more survivable, because he's just a very squishy character. So it at least addresses the issue, which is why I wanted to have it. Zeta number 15 went to Darth Vader's No Escape. Now, this Zeta to me, I like it. I don't love it. The ability I love, because the ability is what gives Vader so much turn meter, which I think is very, very solid. But the Zeta ability is just going to give you a little bit of extra health gain and turn meter reduction removal. So nice to have, need to have, probably not a need to have. But the reason I gave it to him is because I want my Palpatine team to be as solid as possible. Again, this is my arena team, and so I've given it to Vader because I want to make the team as solid as possible so I don't regret it. All right, and then Zeta number 15. You all remember it.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
You all bring it up.
Chirpa! Welcome to the Chirpa.
In fact, there's even memes on my Discord server that remind me of it. Anytime somebody types the word Chirpa in.
It's impossible!
I have a Zeta Chirpa, and this was given by my buddy Mobile Gamer to me because I did not know how to use Imperial Probe Droid. Oh, we had a competition at CG when we were out there, and it was who could win fastest with two arena teams against Mobile Gamer Arnold and myself. And the reason I lost is because I forgot that Imperial Probe Droid deals massive damage, not a one-hit KO. And so I used it on General Kenobi. It obviously didn't kill him, and it totally threw off the frame of battle, and I was screwed. So, yeah, that's why I have a Zeta Chirpa. Now, Do I regret it? I mean, I don't regret the competition. I'm always up for good competition. Am I glad I have the Zeta? Not really, because my Ewoks just aren't farmed up. But I don't mean to throw shade on this Zeta, because it actually works really well if you have an Ewok team. It's going to be really good in Phase 2 of the Sith raid. It's going to be good in a lot of different areas. It's just, I just don't have the Ewoks ready, and so it sits here. It's I don't do anything with it. And then finally, my last Zeta was given to the Wampa, Cornered Beast. I do not regret this Zeta too much. Right now, I'm not using him as much as I wish I could. I experimented a bit running a Rex-led team with the Wampa, tried to get that to work for a while in the arena, but I struggled to make it work. I think I need to have Darth Sion and Mother Talzin ready, which I'm working on right now. And so once I have those characters ready, I feel like this Zeta will benefit me more, because it gives you that increased counter chance, which I think is really what makes the Wampa really hard to go against. Is he just punishes you for attacking him. You kind of want to annihilate him and not really just kind of stay away from that Yeti because he really punishes you for attacking him. So I gave the Zeta to him because I want to run that team. I was a bit disappointed that it wasn't able to make me run them right then, but hopefully once I have Mother Talzin and Darth Sion ready, I'll benefit from it more. All right, that rounds out every single Zeta that I have given, and why? What Zetas have you given? What are some of your regrets? Let me know down in the comments what Zeta you regret the most, actually. And let's all commiserate. Again, mine is probably Battle Meditation. Chirpa, yeah, I mean, I didn't really have control over that. Maybe either Chirpa or Battle Meditation. But very important decision-making process to think about. I would always recommend thinking about Arena first, and then other game modes. You want to make sure you at least have those crystals in place, and if that's going well for you, then venture into other game modes. Thank you so much for the support, my friends. If you liked the video, as always, give it a thumbs up, share with your guild mates, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you turn on those notifications so you can be the first to know when I post a new video. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.